Right, last class we have completed list implementation classes, all adding operations and its memory structure, and then all operations with array list and linked list we have completed. Now, in today's class, let us try to understand set implementation classes. Any questions from last class? Okay, I'll give you a small program. I'll give small program. So try to answer it. Tell me what is the output of this program? What is the output of this program? Why you are taking this much time? What is the output? First AC, here AC will come, here what will get? AB, CD or AB, D or A, CD. What is the output? When you modify string object by concat method, the modification happen in, is the modification happen in S pointing object? Is the modification happening in S pointing object? No, because string is immutable. If you modify string buffer object, is the modification happen in SB pointing object? Yes. So output is A, C, D. So what did you understand from this example? When you try to work with mutable, immutable objects, very important point you should remember. Immutable object, if you modify, that modification not affected to collection. Okay. If you modify mutable object, the modification is affected to collection object. If you modify string objects and wrapper class objects, that modification not affected to collection because they are immutable. If you modify string buffer, string builder and our own class objects, then the modification affected to collection object. Okay, hope you understand this. Right. In the next examples, this entire week we are going to work with mutable, immutable objects. So you should have an idea. Test 09 underscore. Now let us try to work with set implementation classes. Tell me, what is set? What the use of set? What is a set? What is the use of set? When should we use a set? Can you try to help me on to understand this topic? What is set? Set is an interface of collections framework. It is a sub-interface of collection. It represents a group of unique objects. If you want to store only unique objects, we must choose set implemented classes. Okay. Now set is an ordered collection or unordered collection? Is a set ordered collection or unordered collection? Set is an unordered collection. Okay, because it doesn't have index and doesn't maintain insertion order. It means set will not store objects with index. Set will not store objects in sorting order, or insertion order will not maintain. If you want to store objects in sorting order, we must use a sorted set. Sorted set is a sub-interface of set. It provides sorting behavior of collection classes. In Java 6 version, sorted set has one more sub-interface called navigable set for adding more navigation methods for retrieving operations purpose. Set has 4 subclasses. 3 are direct subclasses. 1 is subclass of sorted set. Set implemented classes hierarchy. What are the 4 subclasses we have? Hash set, linked hash set, tree set, enum set. Tree set is the subclass of navigable set. Hash set is subclass of abstract set. Linked hash set is subclass of hash set. Enum set is subclass of abstract set. Okay. Collection set. This is the story. Now tell me, when to choose which class? When to choose hash set class? When to choose linked hash set class? Already know. If you want to store only unique objects, then we should choose hash set. If you want to store unique objects in insertion order, then you should choose linked hash set. Okay, hash set doesn't maintain order, linked hash set maintain order. If you want to store only enum, one enum named constants, then you should use enum set. Okay, and next, if you want to store objects in sorting order, then you must use tree set. Is it clear? We must choose a hash set collection to store unique objects without worrying about order. We must choose linked hash set collection to store unique objects in insertion order. We must choose a tree set collection to store unique objects in sorting order. We must choose enum set collection to store only enum type objects. Okay. Next, set interface contain any new methods. List interface contain 10 additional methods, right? In addition to the 21 methods inherited from the collection interface, list has a 10 methods. In Java 8 version, it has 2 more methods. Totally, Java 9 has a 12, Java 10 has 1 method. Totally, additional it has 25 methods. Totally 46 methods we have in list interface. Like that, in set interface, do you have any additional methods in a set? Set is meant for storing objects in which order? I mean, storing objects, unique objects. Unique objects to store, second object should compare with the first object. If second object is found is the same as first object, it is considered as a duplicate and it will not be stored. Then if you use double equal to operator and equals method inside add method, can we solve storing problem, duplicate object storing problem? Come on, try to understand now. If we add the logic in add method, the problem will be solved. So do we need any additional method? Not required. Then in set interface, we don't have any additional methods other than the 21 methods inherited from the set. Inherited from the collection. But in Java 9 version, we have the 12 off methods for storing objects, for creating collection object with less code. Also in Java 10 version, we have copy of method for creating set object by copying elements from existing collection. Are you catching my point? So this is the basic idea about set interface. Now we need to understand about hash set class, linked hash set class, okay, and tree set class, okay, enum set class, how to use them, we need to understand. Let's start. Now I'm trying to create hash set object as usual. How many constructors are there in hash set class? Okay, first tell me all the 10 questions. On every collection you have to learn 10 questions. I told you, no. Question number 1, what is hash set class? What is the use of hash set class? Hash set is a collections framework collection. It is used for storing only unique objects without worrying about insertion order. It is an implementation of set interface. Second point, is it a synchronized collection? No. Third point, is it a ordered collection? No. It will not maintain insertion, it will not maintain index, it will not maintain insertion, or it will not store objects in sorting order. What is the implemented data structure? Okay, it is it will give a feeling to us like array, but implicitly it is not array, it is a table. Okay, hash set look like a what you call hash set is look like a array. It's give us a feeling that we are working with array, but it is not array. Background, it is a table. Now this table data structure is implemented by a class called what? Hash map. This hash map object is held by what? Hash set object. When you create a hash set object, background hash map object is created, and when you add objects to the hash set, those objects are added to what? Hash map. Okay, all you people understand? So final conclusion is what? Set implemented data structure is hash table. Hash table. Is that hash table directly implemented by hash set? No. With hash map instance. So what we should say, hash set implemented data structure is hash table backed by backside. Hash set is backed by what? Hash map instance. Okay. All people understand what the implement data structure of a hash set? Hash table backed by hash map. Okay. What is the default capacity of hash map? Hash table. What the default capacity of hash set? Try to understand. Hash set doesn't have default capacity. Hash map default capacity is the hash set capacity. Hash map default capacity is 16. That means it can store 16 elements. Then is a table na? Now after how many entries, after how many elements stored or entries stored, this capacity is grown after 75% filled. That means if 12 elements if you stored, then immediately its a capacity will be grow. Okay, so that is called load factor. How much it will grow? Double. Okay, so what the initial capacity? 16. What the incremental capacity? Double. What is its load factor? 12. Load factor 75%. Load factor 75% or 0.75, whatever. Okay, next, what type of elements are allowed to store? Inside hash table or inside hash set and hash map, we can store all four types of object: homogeneous, heterogeneous, unique, and unique and duplicate. Allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. That means in hash set, what type of elements are allowed? Only homogeneous, heterogeneous, and unique objects only allowed. Duplicate objects are not allowed. Okay, next tell me. Is null allowed to store? Yes. How many nulls are allowed to store? Only one null is allowed to store. Wonderful. The next tell me. In which order elements are stored? Very, very important point. When you store objects to hash set, background objects are storing in a table. No, whenever you have a class name contains what? Hash. If a class contain hash, the storing order is hash code order. What the order? Hash code order. Okay, the hash code order elements will be stored. Based on the hash code, objects will be stored. Okay, now try to observe now very important point. What is a hash code? Hash code is a 32-bit unique number. 32-bit unique number of int type. Okay, it is a int type unique number. It is used for differentiating one object from another object, and also used for grouping multiple objects as one unit. Hash code is used for differentiating one object from another object and storing multiple related objects as one group. Whenever you take a table, tell me, table has a where condition, where core Java, where course equal to advanced Java, where type of account equal to savings account, type of account equal to current account. So if you take a table in a database, also table, now the rows are grouped by one property, one common property, right? And one row is differentiated from another row by primary key, student number, employee number, bank account number, mobile number. So that primary key, sometimes this primary key will be the hash code number, sometimes this group property is the hash code number of an object. Every object will have hash code background. Every object implicitly contain hash code. Up to now we have not seen this hash code because we not required for the previous program. Now we require this hash code for this hash code data structure. That's why I'm revealing this one. Whenever you create object of any class you create, your class you create, predefined class you create, any class object you create, this object contains what? Hash code number background. This hash code number is generated by whom now? JVM. JVM generate hash code number based on reference of the object. JVM generate hash code of the object based on reference, because JVM don't know, JVM knows only reference of your object. JVM don't know database. Now if you want, according to your project, you want to generate hash code of your object based on the data. If you want to generate based on the data, you have to write logic somewhere, na? Then Sun Microsystem has given a predefined method to obtain the hash code of the object by using what? By using what? A method called hash code. Okay, in java.lang.object class, we have been given a method called what? Hash code. Like equals method, like a toString method, we have a predefined method called what? Hash code method. Okay, when you call object dot some o dot object dot hash code method executed from java.lang.object class, based on the reference, hash code number will be written. Then tell me, with reference, every two objects will be different, na? First object different, second object reference. Okay, every two objects will be different. If these objects comes under pooling, then two objects will contain same reference, and one object only will be considered, second object will not be considered. So if you generate hash code based on reference, no two objects comes under same group, all are belongs to different group. Based on the project, if you want to group the objects as, if you want to store objects as a group, one common property like course core Java, then you have to override hash code method. You must override hash code method in our class to generate hash code number based on the data. So repeat once again all the points. How the hash map will store the objects. Hash map stores object based on what? Hash code order. What is hash code? Hash code is a 32-bit unique number. It is automatically generated by JVM for every object. Hash code number is used for grouping grouping multiple related objects as a one unit, and also used for differentiating one object from another object. Then in this case, okay, a hash code can be generated in two ways, reference wise and data wise. Java.lang.object class hash code method by default has the logic to generate hash code number based on the reference. If you want to generate a hash code number to your object based on the data, you must override hash code method like equals method overriding, like toString method overridden. Hash code method, equals method, toString method. All three methods are implemented in java.lang.object class based on the reference of the object. If you want to work these three methods based on data of your class object, then you must override these three methods in your class. Everyone understand the flow? Can you please open volume 2 textbook, second chapter? There you will find java.lang.object class methods with hash code method, equals method, toString method explanation. Can you please watch once now? Whatever explanation I given with the programs, everything is there. Now you please verify that first. Guys, did you find all points are there in material? Na? Shall I proceed to program? Now try to answer. How hash code method, how hash, what do you call, how the objects are organized or stored inside a hash set or a hash map based on hash code order. Next point. How the elements are retrieved from the hash set. Tell me, is the hash set indexed based? No. Hash set is not indexed based. Because hash set is not indexed based, can you retrieve elements from the hash set randomly? No, not possible. Only sequential. Now, very important point. How the hash set will store objects inside. What are the implicit methods are called from hash set? Those are executing from our classes, adding objects classes. This is a hash set. When you add one object to the hash set, on this hash set object, if you add one object to a hash set, on the adding object, some methods will be called implicitly. Those methods are executing from our class. What are the methods? Tell me, when I am adding the first object, just now I told you, objects must be stored based on hash code order. Na? For storing objects on a hash code order, on this object, on every object at the time of adding itself, what will be called? Hash code method will be called. Is it clear? Next point. When I'm adding second object, now the hash set should know where this object should be stored. So for that hash code must be called. And this object is a duplicate or unique, should be compared with the previous object. Na? For a comparison purpose, double equal to operator and equals method called. Hello, are you catching my point? In a list implemented classes, inside search and remove operations, only equals method is used, right? But if you come to hash set, totally three members will be used. What are the three members? Hash code method, double equal to operator, and equals method. Hash code method meant for knowing this object belongs to which group, and double equal to operator and equals methods are meant for knowing this second object is equal to first object or not. Okay. So all 10 questions, hope understand now. Are you ready to write a program to verify all 10 points? First, we are understanding storing. Okay. After storing, then we'll apply all operations on the collection. Same way, first storing we learn list, then all operation. Here also same. First we are working with storing in all 4 collections, and then later I will explain you how to retrieve and how to perform operations and everything. Has a set. Tell me now, main method. Inside main method, now I am going to create a has set object. Has a set of any type of object I want to store, HS equal to new hash set. Together, how many constructors are there in hash set class? 1, 2, 3, 4 constructors are there. If you use hash set class, construct a new empty set. The backing hash map instance has a default initial capacity 16 and a load factor 0.75. Understand, a backing instance means hash set background creates hash map object. Hash set collection for copying the elements from previous collection to this collection. Has a set into initial capacity. Construct a new empty set. Backing hash map instance has the specified initial capacity and default load factor 0.75. If you want to specify load factor also, you can specify load factor. That means when you want to grow your capacity, you can specify. Okay. Right. So these are the points of 4 constructors. I'm using first constructor to create collection object. Then I wanted to know how many elements available in the collection. So what do you write? HS dot is empty or HS dot size. Now no elements are there, so we got 0. Next, next I'm going to call HS. Control F11, and next empty bracket will become empty square bracket. Okay. The next, now I wanted to add objects. HS dot add of. Now I'm going to write double quote say Okay, hs dot add of double quotes b, double quotes is stored. Let me write double quotes a is stored. Okay, now hs dot add double quotes b stored. Where stored? After a na, before a na, cannot say na. Cannot say because it's not maintaining insertion order. It is storing objects on hash code order. I am trying to store 97. Okay, I'm trying to store 97. Tell me where 97 stored after Bina? Where 97 stored after Bina? No, cannot say. But hash code order 97 hash code number. It is an int number, no? It's a predefined class. Predefined classes hash code. I mean, in a string class and all wrapper classes, hash code method is overridden. Look at there. What the hash code number? 97. Look at there. Objects are grouped based on hash code number. A hash code number is 97. ASCII number only, na? Okay, na? 97, 97. Next, tell me. I'm going to write 98. Tell me where 98 will be stored after B. Based on hash code order. Come on, guys. All people understand? Now I'm writing single code B. Where single code B is stored? Based on hash code order. Somewhere it is going. It's a character. Okay. And next. Now I'm trying to store here true. It is stored based on hash code order. Okay. And now I'm trying to store a duplicate. Okay. Null I am storing. Null. What is the null hash code number? Okay. Somewhere it is storing. Hash code number will be 0 actually. Okay. And the next. Now I'm trying to display. I'm trying to add a duplicate object. Allowed or not allowed? Duplicate object allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. Stored or not stored? Not stored. Only one A will be there. Okay, now only one A will be there. And next, I'm trying to store 97. I'm trying to store 97. Allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. Only 197 is there. I'm trying to store one more null. Allowed or not allowed? Not allowed. Okay, because it's duplicate. Now I am trying to store my class object. New example of 5, 6. All you people tell me. Is it stored or not? Yes. Where? Based on hash code number. What is the hash code number? Hash code number of this example object is based on data or based on, is it based on data or based on reference? Why? Why based on reference? Why based on reference? Because hash code method is not overridden in example class. Okay, based on reference, it is storing somewhere. Now, I am trying to store example object with the same content again. Stored or not stored? Example object with the same content again I am trying to store. Is it stored or not stored? Everyone should answer, please. Don't sit silently. Is it stored or not stored? Some people are telling not stored. Some people are telling stored. So if you use your brain, you will give wrong answer. If you apply the algorithm, you will get right answer. What I told you on this object, first what will be on this object, what will be called hash code? Tell me, with this object hash code number, is there any object available? When comparison will be started with this object hash code number, if any object available. So here available now, sir. Array, blind fellow. This object hash code number, is this object hash code number same or not same? Not same, because hash code method is not overridden. Tell me, yesterday I told you, when you are working with the list implementation classes, first you should verify equals method overridden in that class or not. If equals method overridden, inside equals method, whatever the properties are used, those properties comparison you have to verify, right? Same way, when you are working with the hash set class, when you call add method, then you must verify this example class, inside example class, hash code method is overridden or not. Hash code method is not overridden. When hash code method is not overridden, it is executed from java.lang.object class. From java.lang.object class, this object hash code number is different from this object hash code number. Are they compared or not compared? Not compared, because they are considered as different objects. Different hash code means different object. No chance to become same. Then look at their equals method is not called, and both objects are stored. So tell me, can a hash set by default stop data-wise duplicate objects. Everyone say that duplicates are not allowed, duplicates are not allowed. Now duplicate objects stored. Now my question is based on, okay, by default has a set can stop. Data-wise duplicate objects, not possible. Data-wise duplicate objects are not possible to store. And then what to do now? Then what to do now? What to do now? If you want to stop data-wise duplicate object, I have to override hash code method in our class like equals method. Are you catch my point? Okay. I will write something like this. Example E3 equal to new example of 7 comma 8. HS dot add of E3. Again I am adding same E3 object one more time. Tell me, is the second time E3 object stopped or not stopped? Everyone guess and tell me. Is the second E3 object stopped or not stopped? It is stopped. It will not be stored. Only example 7, 8 one time only will be there. Example of 7, 8 only one time will be there. So tell me by default, which duplicate objects are stopped? Reference wise duplicate objects are stopped. Data wise duplicate objects are not stopped. You catch my point? By default, reference wise duplicate objects are stopped. Data wise duplicate objects are not stopped. Reference wise duplicate objects stopped because of which operator? Double equal to operator. Double equal to operator can stop data wise duplicate objects. Reference wise duplicate objects. If you want to stop data wise duplicate objects, we must override what? Two methods, hash code method and equals method. Both we must override. Any one of the methods you are not overridden, then data wise duplicate objects will be stored. Okay, now shall we override hash code method? Go to example class. How to override hash code method? How to override hash code method? Control space, hash code selector. Now prototype came. Inside this hash code method, I must return one int number. I must return one int number. I'm returning 97. Can I return 97? Any number you can return. 97 I'm returning. Then tell me now. This two objects hash code number will be same. This object hash code number 97. This object hash code number is also 97. Hello. This object hash code number is also 97. This object hash code number is also 97. Then tell me, our object is now compared with the first object and 97 second object. Found it is unique. Then it is stored. Okay, look at here. Here I wanted to write system.out.println double quotes in hash code plus this object. Okay, what is this object I wanted to verify? And in equals method there. Okay, in equals method also we have written this and obj. Observe, if the current object hash code number is equal to one or two objects, only those objects are compared. Do you remember in a list interface, when you trying to store object or search for object, every object will be compared, na? Every object will be compared, right? Linear searching algorithm, every object is compared. Now, in a hash table data structure, all objects are not compared. This object matching hash code number objects only compared. All objects are not compared. This particular object hash code number matching objects only compared. Now this object hash code number we written as a 97. 97 matching object is 1 and 2. Only how many equals method comparisons will happen? 2 comparisons only will happen. Observe now, control F11. Look at that. In a hash code, here, where is that? Here. In a hash code, example object, I'll do one thing. I'm commenting all these method calls, so we'll not have confusion. Am I confusing you? All people understanding? Look at that. In hash code, example object called. Then in equals method, example object hash code 97 compared with A. In equals, again this object compared with 97. Found both objects are unique, then it is stored. Okay, na? Next, now if I enable this object, now tell me, this object hash code number is now equal to how many objects? 1, 2, 3. Then it is comparing with this one, false. Comparing with this object, false. Comparing with this object. Now, true, data is the same. Then stored or not stored? Not stored. Okay, the example object is not stored. Now, hash code, example x equal to 5, y equal to 6, comparing with first A. Okay, what are the hash code objects are found? 3 objects are found. Compared with A, false. Compared with 97, false. Compared with same object, return true. Then this currently adding object is not stored. Existing object is there. Hope you all understand. If you don't override hash code method, duplicate objects based on data will be stored. Okay, tell me. Now I am trying to store E3. E3 object hash code number how now? 97. Then 97 matching objects, how many are there? 1. Equals method compared, false. 2, false. 3, false. Okay, 3, false. Then this object is stored. Look at that. Equals method x, false, false, false. Then stored. Hello, all are catching my point? Tell me. If you write now hs dot add of e3, then what happened? Now this object is comparing with this object, false. This object, false. Sorry. With this object 97, false. Then with this object, false. Now with this object, equals method called or not called? With this object, equals method called or not called? Come on, come on, come on. With this object, equals method called or not called? Here all equals method called. Here equals method called or not called? Not called. Why? Because reference is same. Double equal to operator stopped it. Double equal to operator stopped it. Look at that. Okay, this object second time. First time already comparison over. Second time comparison. Example 7, 8 compared with reference, then data. Reference, then data. Reference, then data. Now, next example of 7, 8 with a 7, 8 comparison with a double equal to operator. With reference, the objects are found to duplicate. Then equals method is not called. So totally, what is the flow of finding object duplicate or not? On every object, first hash code method is called. Then, if matching hash code is not found, object is stored in the collection. If matching object is found, then double equal to operator is used for comparison. If it returns false, then only equals method is called. Everyone understand? So this is the very important point about how the objects are stored in the hash set or hash map. Did you get clarity? Come on guys, can you please tell me, did you get clarity? Okay, I have given there 97 for what purpose? For you to know what objects are comparing. But in projects, will you return our own hard-coded value? No. We will return data-wise hash code number. Hash code you are over in which class? Example class. Example-wise properties are x and y. You can use only x or you can use x and y both, your wish. I am using both and x and y, x plus y. I have written x plus y, control F11. Look at there now. Example object, first object, not compared with anything because now according to modified code, this object hash code number is what? 11. With 11, is there any object available? No. With 11, is there any object available? No. That's why not compared, directly stored. The next, second object I am trying to store, second object. When I am trying to store, with this hash code number, with this object hash code number, one object is available, now compared by using double equal to operator. Reference is different, then equals method is called. Reference data is same, so not stored. Okay, now Next, now I'm trying to store example of x equal to 7, y equal to 8. X value, y value, hash code number is what? 15. With the 15, is there any object available? No, no comparison. Directly object is stored. Then, now when I'm trying to store second E3, now this object, hash code method is called, which is equal to previous object. It is compared with reference. With reference, they are equal. So object is not stored. So you have to work out the internals. If you don't practice internals, you'll face problem. You have to remember all these things. Will you practice today at home? Come on, guys. Will you practice? Yeah. Volume 2. Sorry. Xerox material. Xerox material. Xerox material 2. Collection chapter open. All these points are explanation there. Hash set implementation. You will have hash set internals or hash map internals. One diagram will be there. Verify. No need to explain again and again. 100 times I explain also. 101 time you will have confusion. Xerox material number 3. Yeah, did you find this program? So here I given clearly first hash code method is called. Now second object hash code is called. Comparing second object hash code if hash code is same, then compare with a second object by using double equal to operator for reference comparison. If reference comparison is different, then compares equals method. So always on the object we are adding hash code method is compulsory called. First time called, second time called. Okay. And equals method is not called always. Equals method is called only for the objects whose hash code is same and the reference is different. Are you catching my point? Equals method is called only for those objects whose hash code is same and the reference is different. Okay, now so remember these points. Again, I will explain you these points in hash code method. Okay, when I'm teaching hash map, once again I will explain you all these points. Yeah, guys, shall I go for next point? All you people understand these three methods, these three hash code double equal to operator equals method. All you people comfortable now? Fine. Now tell me, what is the difference between a hash set and linked hash set? Any difference in storing mechanism? In which version linked hash set class is available? Excuse me. In which version linked hash set class is available? Linked hash set is available from 1.4 version. 1.4 version. Hash set available from 1.2. To solve hash set problem, storing objects in insertion order, linked hash set came. So what is linked hash set? First point, linked hash set is a collections framework collection available from Java 1.4 version. It is a subclass of hash set. When we want to store objects when we want to store only unique objects in insertion order, we must use linked hash set. Second point, is it a synchronized? No. Is it ordered? Yes. Maintain insertion order, but index is not there. What is the implemented data structure? Tell me, this class contain word called hash. That means hash table plus. It should store objects in insertion order. To maintain insertion order, implicitly uses doubly linked list. Okay, doubly linked list. So it is a implicit data structure is hash table and doubly linked list backed by linked hash map instance, linked hash map instance. Okay, if you create a hash set, hash map object is created background. If you create a linked hash map, if you create a hash linked hash set, linked hash map object will be created background. Okay, then fifth point, what is the what type of elements are allowed to store? Three types of elements: homogeneous, heterogeneous, and unique objects only. Now duplicate objects, data wise duplicate object by default will not stop. You must override hash code and equals method. A null allowed or not? One null is allowed. One null is allowed. Seventh point, what is the seventh point? Yeah, what the default capacity? Forgot. Default capacity is also 16 here. It is subclass of asset, na same. And three elements are allowed, only one null is allowed. And next, what is the storing order? Insertion order. What the retrieving order? Only sequential. And what the methods are implicitly called? Hash code method on every object. If hash code of second object equal to first object, then double equal to operator. If double equal to operator false, then equals method. So this is a flow about all the points. Hope everyone understand. Let me rewrite the same program, copy, paste, create a new class called test 10 underscore linked list, paste. Okay. Asset place we create linked asset, and HS place we write linked asset. Run this program, same flow. But maintain order is insertion order. AB 9798P true null. Insertion order will be maintained, but background algorithm will be same. Okay, Nana? So these are the points you need to practice: hash set and linked hash set. So please practice hash set and linked hash set thoroughly. And tomorrow we will try to understand enum set. Okay, enum set. After that we will try to understand hash map internals, linked hash map, and then following by we learn tree set, tree map. Okay, na tree set and tree map we learn. Thank you. That's all for today class. Set implementation classes generally will not be used. Only map will be used. Set implementation knowledge you should have, but in company we don't use set implementation classes. I'll tell you the problem with the set implementation classes. If you develop this project, okay, can you redevelop this project with set implementation? Then you will realize what is the problem. Same project you try to develop, then you will see that the problem with this set implementation class. Same problem, same project you rewrite with set. Okay, storing object, counting and displaying object, search for the object whose state is 101 HK core Java. Okay, na? Go and check. The problem you will realize. Can you work out? Next, retrieve the student whose state is 101 HKBK. If you work, then you will realize the problem of set. Okay, try to develop this project. Okay, don't miss it. Try to develop. Yeah. See you all tomorrow. That's all for today class. Bye.